Attorney Harry Roque, Mr. Chair.
Please proceed.
Better, yeah. Attorney Roque, with regard to Biancham, as a former chairman and president of Biancham, and of course, a very known lawyer, are you familiar with its subsidiaries?
Wholly owned corporations by an existing corporation, Mr. Chair.
Are you familiar with the subsidiaries of Biancham?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I am familiar with subsidiaries of Biancham.
What are these subsidiaries?
I have PH2, which is wholly owned by Biancham. There's another one, Lat something, which is also a holding corporation for another real estate company.
Let's show on the GIS on 2020 the subsidiaries. As stated in the GIS. Can we show it, please? So do you have 4 subsidiaries?
Yes, Madam, Mr. Chair.
That's PH2, Lot, First Bataan, Mariveles Power, and Block 19 in Pinewoods Village. So since PH2, Lot 37, Pinewoods is subsidiary, I'm sure you're familiar with PH2, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And you confirm that Biancham currently owns 99.9% of PH2, and even in 2018 it was 95%, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
In fact, in 2018, you were a shareholder, the resource person is a shareholder of PH2.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And at one point, even the chairman and president of PH2.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And this attorney Ortega, who acquired, now owns 99% of Biancham, was also a shareholder of PH2, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
In fact, he was a director, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And you confirm that at one point, as stated in the 2022 GIS, a certain attorney Gonzalez became a shareholder of PH2 as well.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So these are the breakdowns of Biancham's incorporators in 2014, PH2 stockholders in 2018, and Biancham's first GIS and amended GIS in 2022. So essentially, in Biancham, in 2014, you owned 49.96%. In March 2020, you owned 98%, and just in 7 months, it was Attorney Ortega who owned 99% of Biancham.
By virtue of a trust agreement, Mr. Chair.
Currently, and PH2 stockholders in 2019, Biancham Trading owns 95%. This was in 2018 GIS as reflected. You own 1%. Attorney Ortega owns 1%. And Attorney Gonzalez later on owned stocks in PH2. Is this correct?
That is what the record says, Mr. Chair, yes.
So essentially, the shareholders of PH2 and Biancham are almost the same.
It is 100% owned, Mr. Chair, by Biancham, except for the nominal shareholders to complete the minimum of 5 incorporators and directors, which was then required by the Corporation Code.
So the resource person is saying it's essentially owned, Mr. Chair. Let's just put that in record. Currently, Mr. Percival Ortega, as established earlier, has a 99% share in Biancham. So he's the current chairman and president.
He holds almost all the shares now in trust in behalf of all the families subject to our settlement, Your Honor.
And one of the shareholders is also a certain Attorney Butuyan.
Yes, he was my law partner for 30 years or so.
So you, Attorney Butuyan, and Attorney Ortega, what is your relationship with each other? Were you classmates, all partners?
Yes, we are all classmates, and that is why the family trusted Attorney Percival Ortega to take care of the interests of everyone.
Would you know if there are other companies wherein Attorney Ortega is the chairman and president of?
I know he sits in some other companies.
And who is reflective of the true beneficial owner of Biancham?
I'm sorry,
The
Mr. Chairman.
true and beneficial owner of Biancham.
It is my family now. Actually, the biggest shareholder of Biancham now is my aunt, who invested the most in the real estate project in Bataan. But as I said, my aunt had just passed.
The biggest shareholder, even if
She is, because she invested the biggest amount of money in the real estate transaction.
So her name would be reflected on the beneficial owner form in the SEC documents.
Not yet, because in the beginning, she made me sign a loan agreement, and then later on, she changed her mind that it will be hers. She changes, so I just
Not
comply.
yet. So meaning, or currently, you're the beneficial owner.
Well, in our trust agreement,
Yes or no lang, Mr. Chair?
no, Your Honor. Right now, the beneficial owner is still the estate of my aunt, who owns the biggest share in the land transaction in Bataan.
Mr. Chair, since the beneficial ownership form is submitted naman to the SEC, may we require that the beneficial ownership form be submitted to the committee?
I am not aware, Mr. Chair, if we submitted one in fact, because it is just a trust agreement amongst family members.
This is a requirement under the SEC. You're a very competent lawyer. You're not aware, and were you not the president? So you do not know the submissions?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I'm not a specialist in corporation law. That's why I have to hire
But
other
you were
lawyers.
the former president and chairman of Biancham.
Yes, Mr.
And you
Chair,
were not aware
but
of the submissions?
it's a dormant company for all intents and purposes. I am not a specialist in corporation law.
It's a dormant corporation right now. How so?
It's a holding corporation because it only owns title to raw land. It has no commercial activity other than holding title to raw land currently.
So, Mr. Chair, may I move to get the beneficial ownership form if there is from the SEC or from Mr. Roque if he finds out?
Mr. Chair, I'm not aware I actually filed because this was 2020. But if we need to file belatedly, we will file belatedly. But right now, I am not aware if we in fact filed that with the SEC, in all honesty.
And earlier, the transfer of the shares of stock to Attorney Ortega was through what mode?
It is a trust agreement whereby he agreed to be a trustee for everyone in my family.
And you have a copy of that trust?
I committed to submit a copy already of the trust agreement.
And currently, are you in the process of buying back or any plans to buy back your shares in Biancham?
Yes, we are in the process of finalizing so that I can buy back shares not in Biancham anymore, because pursuant to our reorganization, Your Honor, that is what I meant, Mr. Chair, that it has become too personal. It has nothing to do with Pogo, but I will continue. Pursuant to our plans, we are segregating now assets which my wife acquired during our marriage and assets which I co-own with my relatives, siblings, including my aunt. So we have formed a new company. It has just been formed
Mr. Chair, I was just
recently.
simply asking if he's in the process of buying back shares in Biancham. I'm not asking for his history or what his plans in life.
We are in the process, Your Honor, of me relinquishing all shares to Biancham.
Okay. Can we move on to another subsidiary, another subsidiary? First, Bataan Mariveles Holding Corp. In 2017, you were a stockholder of Biancham, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
In fact, you were the president, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And you were also a board member.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So you will be aware of the transactions entered into by Biancham, correct?
Not Biancham.
Sorry,
Are we talking of First Bataan,
First Bataan,
Mr.
First
Chair?
Bataan.
Yes,
First Bataan.
well, insofar as it is engaged in the land banking, yes, I was aware of the land banking activities of the company because that's the only thing it has been doing.
But as well as the Biancham activities, since you were also the president during that time.
There was no commercial activity, Mr. Chair, for Biancham because Biancham merely invested in the land banking activity of First Bataan because the family investment is under the name of Biancham in First Bataan.
So this investment that you're stating in 2017, is that the reason why there was a subscribed and paid share of 35,347 shares in the amount of 35,347,000?
Yes, Mr. Chair, that was the initial capital contribution of my family in the land banking activity.
And in the AFS in 2017 of Bianchan, there's a net loss of 254,347 with assets of 1.5 million in cash with no liabilities. So paano nagkaroon ng purchase?
It was in the form of, as I mentioned earlier, in the beginning, my aunt treated it as an extension of a loan. So it was an advance from my aunt, which I thought would redound already to my name. But in the end, she said, no, until you actually pay me, it will still be mine. So
Mr. Chair.
these were in the forms of cash advances to purchase the land.
Mr. Chair, may I move that we get a copy of this loan agreement because we are
Oh.
circling back to this loan from the aunt, which, well, she's not here anymore.
She's not here anymore.
She has passed,
And
so we cannot obviously ask
and
questions.
the loan was not in writing, but it was recognized in my SALN as an obligation to
How
my aunt.
convenient that the loan was not in writing, Mr. Chair, and going back to a loan agreement, and we can't even know if the loan agreement really did exist between two persons when the other person is not here. So we're just going to rely basically on a loan agreement you're stating, going back to this by your own word.
Well, Mr. Chair, I guess we go back again to the sale of our real estate property in 2017 and the fact that we started investing in Bataan in 2018. So it was really in conforme with the instructions of my grandfather. When you sell some of my land, you buy new land.
Mr. Chair, so we go back to this whole thing. No, we'll just look at Biancham being a stockholder again of FBMHC, First Bataan. And alarmingly, this was it was paid at 35 million. And at this time in 2017, what was your job at that time? If you can repeat.
I was presidential spokesperson from, no, I was congressman from June 2016 until November of 2017.
And essentially, if we look at the table of the First Bataan, again, Biancham holds about 49.99% of First Bataan.
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
And the other major, can we show the table, please?
Secretariat, can you
The
please
12th
show the
slide.
table?
I'm sorry.
And the other major shareholder of equal footing at 49.99% is a certain Green Miles Realty, correct?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
And we have other shareholders, Danny Coral, Attorney Butuyan, Jessica Go, Jar May Garcia, and Candice Coral, correct?
Yes, that is correct, Mr. Chair.
Who are these persons? Who is Jessica Go?
Jessica Ko used to be a staff lawyer in my law office. She is now a state prosecutor at the Department of Justice.
So she used to work under your law office.
Yes,
with
Mr. Chair.
Attorney Butuyan, who's also a shareholder.
A nominal shareholder to complete the 5 incorporators and 5 directors then required.
And who is Zarmay Garcia,
An associate lawyer who has since passed.
of also the same law firm?
Yes, Mr.
So
Chair.
you have 2 associate lawyers under your law firm that became a nominal shareholder in this big corporation.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And who is Danny Coral.
He is a very good friend of mine who is present today. He is an accomplished sugar trader since 1985.
And Candice Coral.
Candice Coral is the daughter of Danny Coral, who is my ihada in her wedding.
And Green Miles Realty Corp. What is this corporation?
That is a corporation owned by the Coral family. It has been in existence since 2010.
And so as we can see, Green Miles is essentially 56% Danny Coral, 28.5% Candice Coral, who are also shareholders of First Bataan, nominal shareholders, who essentially own Green Miles Realty Corporation, correct?
The plan originally was it was going to be joint venture between Biancham and the company of Danny Coral.
And can you explain your working relationship since you're both in equal footing, Biancham and Green Miles, in terms of transactions, in terms of the corporate operations and whatnot?
Well, we are very good friends. And in the beginning, we intended to invest only in 90 hectares of property. And we had a consolidator by the name of Attorney Carlos, Anselmo Carlos. After transacting the first 90 hectares, he offered to expand the area to 200. And after the 200, Ms. Attorney Carlos passed, but the other landowners in the area offered to sell their properties. But I told my partner, Danny Coral, hindi ko na siya masasabayan. And I could only invest on behalf of Biancham up to 95 million.
And is this project the one in Mariveles?
Yes, that is in Barangay Biaan, Mariveles, Bataan.
And the total hectares, land area of that is 421 hectares.
We have confirmed the total area is only 310 hectares.
310 hectares. And what was the plan for the development of this area?
Well, we submitted a feasibility study to the Freeport Authority of Bataan. It was supposed to be mixed use. And the original plan was it was going to have an LNG, a liquid natural gas power plant that would then power manufacturing facilities that we hope to attract in that location. And that is why we located in Mariveles, because it is where the Freeport Authority of Bataan was located. And I'm also a native of Bataan. So I really wanted employment for my home province of Bataan.
You mentioned originally. So what is the plan after that? If it was originally that, a gas, I think? What did you
Liquid
say?
natural.
Liquid natural gas.
The Russian invasion of Ukraine happened. And although we were able to enter into 2 memorandum of agreements with very big companies, one local, one Japanese, the plan to build an LNG plant was not feasible because the invasion of Ukraine caused LNG prices to increase, and the cost of electricity produced by LNG depends 70% on the cost of LNG. So we had to abandon the LNG, although we had 2 memorandums of agreements with very big and prestigious companies, and we have since focused on possibility of solar instead of LNG.
As a former presidential spokesperson, you're of course always interacting with the media and you're aware of the current news, especially during that time, correct?
Especially when I was spokesperson, but there was a gap. I was spokesperson for 11 months and I was spokesperson for 1 year and 2 months.
Why is that?
Because in 2019, I resigned to run for the Senate, but had to withdraw because I had developed a heart condition. And then I was out of government from October 2018 until I was called back at the height of COVID in April of 2020 already.
So during some time, this article has already been deleted. Billionario.
Yes. That article caused so much trouble. What we did was we submitted, Mr. Chair, a feasibility study for what we had intended to do in our project in Bataan. And of course, it's very flowery. But unfortunately, the application to be part of the territory of the Freeport Authority of Bataan somehow leaked to the media, and it was reported in Billionario that we already had net worth equivalent to what we projected would be the net worth of the company after 20 years. So the thrust of the article was we were worth 55 billion already, as if we had
Mr. Chair,
already implemented
in
the
the same
feasibility
article,
study.
there was a mention there that there were plans to create a POGO site there.
No, Your Honor. It was a BPO site, and I consulted with, in fact, the father of BPO in the Philippines, who was my doormate in UP, former president of PAL. We reserved a BPO sector there, and Mr. Santa Maria, who is really the father of BPO in the Philippines, who was then in PAL, said that when I leave PAL, I will help you develop the BPO industry, especially since Bataan has a very young workforce.
So you're denying everything that this article is saying?
Definitely, because it assumed that we had already realized what was included in the feasibility study, and it had such an impact on my wife.
Okay.
That
Mr. Chair,
my-
yun lang naman
yes.
kailangan natin marinig if he is denying everything that was stated in this
Yes,
article.
yes.
Let's go to the PH. Let's go back to PH2. In PH2, there's a house in Tuba, Benguet. Correct.
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
And you're again, we established you're incorporator of PH2. And you were in fact a president for a couple of years of PH2 in 2017 and even in 2018, correct?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
And this was the time that you're also the presidential spokesperson.
What year again, Mr. Chair? Because I have to verify.
2017, latter, you said, of 2017 and even in 2018, correct?
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair.
And you know that as a president and member of the board of PH2, then you have to review contracts and you would know transactions. As a lawyer, you would do your due diligence naman kahit papano.
Well, yes, we read contracts. Yes, Mr. Chair, we do.
And in this house, you were living for a while in
Yes,
Tuba, right?
from 2019.
And this house is essentially you were leasing this house. PH2 was leasing this house, correct?
In the beginning, no. I lived there while recovering from.
Mr. Chair, we're just if it's we're not asking in the beginning, is it sometime it was being leased to someone?
Yes, it was leased at some point after I resumed my obligations or my work as presidential spokesperson in 2020 April.
Kindly wrap up,
Yeah.
Congresswoman Nograles.
So, are you familiar, of course, with a certain Wan Yun?
With a
One certain name of individual called
yes,
named Wan Yun,
she was a lessee.
and a person of interest in the investigations of Lucky South 99.
My lessee who signed the contract was not a person of interest. It was another person who became a person of
Who is
interest.
this person?
I do not know the name
So
because
you did not do due diligence on the subleasing of your supposed lessee?
I was not aware that that person was there. I did my due diligence. In fact, it was a very long time before we agreed.
If you did your due
to lease
diligence,
that
why did you not find out who was leasing that certain property?
Because I only studied the person who wanted to lease it, and that was the person who signed
So
the
you
lease
were not
contract.
aware that he was subleasing it to a certain Sun Liming.
He was not. I was not aware. It was not allowed.
But are you familiar with Sun Liming?
No.
Sun Liming, it's in the news naman. He is currently in the Interpol red notice. So he was the one, and he said that he is leasing this house there. And you were not aware at all?
No, I was not, because my lessee was a different person. He was a lady who was a single lady, because we asked her to submit her ACR to prove that she was in compliance and she was not an illegal alien and that she had an NBI clearance as well.
Okay. And in 2020, again, you were no longer a stockholder of PH2, and at the same period, no longer a stockholder of Biancham, correct?
Yes, that is a result, Mr. Chair, of our reorganization arising from my wife's insistence that she did not want to be involved in any of my business undertakings anymore because she could not stand the lies that was printed by a tabloid online.
So in summary lang, Mr. Chair, I would just like to show um, a summary of maybe the ownerships that we've established today on Biancham Holdings and Trading. If we can show the last slide, please. So we have Biancham Holdings and Tradings that we've seen the connection with PH2 Lot 37, which Biancham owns 99.99% of that. Na ito nga yung bahay na um, in Tuba, Benguet, where we see it was leased to Wan Yun, who apparently subleased this to Sun Liming, were both connected with Pogos.
May
We also have the connection with First Bataan, Mariveles Holdings Corporation, which you said that there's this land nga in Mariveles, that even if you're saying BPO siya, BPO can actually be a term naman na POGO operations pa rin naman to, which is why we are investigating on these illegal POGOs and these illegal businesses running in the guise of a legal corporation or legal operations when hindi naman pala, no? Which Biancham owns 49%, almost 50%, and another is owned by Green Miles. Alam naman natin may partnership ang Green Miles with Biancham also. So all of these, Mr. Chair, I just want to rebut what the with due respect to the resource person na walang kinalaman ng mga pinagtatanong natin sa Biancham at yung family holdings nila sa iba't ibang mga corporations na nakita naman natin subsidiary naman ng Biancham. That seems we have to dig deeper on the connection of the resource person with the connection also of some individuals and the connection of POGO as a whole, which is part of this, what we're discussing anyway, Mr. Chair. With that po, Mr. Chair, I end my questions.
Okay. Thank you, Congresswoman Nograles. In fact, just to add a little, add a statement on the premise made by Congresswoman Nograles. Ang isa ho sa topic na ating inimbestigahan dito ay yung land acquisitions ng mga Chinese citizens, no? And because of the thousands of hectares that they've acquired in the country, there seems to be some sort of a pattern, no? Kaya pagka may ganyang kalaking mga lupang binibili, it actually begs the question of ano yung purpose nitong mga lupang ito. Now, dahil sa atin ay maraming pumapasok na mga Chinese namimili ng lupa at ginagamit sa mga illegal na pogo. So that perhaps is the reason why questions being propounded by the members of the committee direct towards that particular information. And of course, we do expect that the resource person will cooperate with respect to the documents that they are requiring from your end, Attorney Harry.
Mr. Chair, I would like to volunteer again to correct the statement of Congresswoman Nograles that we intended to use part of the Bataan property for POGO by offering to voluntarily submit what we submitted to the Freeport Authority of Bataan, which was a requirement of the Freeport Authority of Bataan. There was nothing mentioned there of POGO. We commissioned a reputable company in Qatar to do the master plan, and the plans itself, including a brochure that we prepared in order to attract investors, will indicate we had no area intended for POGO. Just to underscore that we have no connection with POGO, and even in our plans that we had submitted to Freeport Authority of Bataan, perhaps this committee may want to subpoena it from the Freeport Authority of Bataan to make sure that it was in fact the feasibility study that we submitted will show that not a single inch of the property was intended for POGO.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Attorney